From the rise of ancient Slavic tribes to the might of the Soviet Union, Russia's history is a tale of conquest, resilience, and transformation. How did a land of warring principalities grow into one of the most powerful nations on Earth? Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we are diving into the rich and fascinating history of Russia. From its origins as a small medieval state to its transformation into a global superpower, Russia has played a crucial role in shaping world events. Join us as we explore the key moments, figures, and conflicts that have defined this enigmatic nation. Section 1. The Early Slavic Tribes. The history of Russia begins with the early Slavic tribes that inhabited the vast lands of Eastern Europe. These tribes lived in scattered settlements along rivers and forests, relying on agriculture, hunting, and trade. They had a polytheistic belief system, worshiping nature deities and spirits. By the 6th century, Slavic groups had spread across modern-day Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus. However, they lacked political unity and were often vulnerable to raids by nomadic steppe tribes like the Khazars and Pechenegs. Section 2. The Kievan Rus. In the late 9th century, the Varangians, Norsemen or Vikings, arrived in Eastern Europe, integrating with the Slavic tribes. According to the primary chronicle, Prince Rurik, a Varangian leader, established rule over Novgorod around 862 AD. His successors expanded southward, and by the late 10th century, Kiev emerged as the dominant city, forming the Kievan Rus. This early Russian state flourished due to its position along major trade routes connecting Scandinavia to Byzantium. A key moment in Kievan Rus's history was the Christianization of the state in 988 AD by Prince Vladimir the Great. He adopted Orthodox Christianity from the Byzantine Empire, leading to the widespread construction of churches and monasteries. This religious shift strengthened cultural and political ties with Byzantium and influenced Russian identity for centuries. Section 3. The Mongol Invasion and the Golden Horde. In the early 13th century, Russia faced one of its greatest threats, the Mongol invasion. In 1237 to 1240, the Mongols, under Batu Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, launched a devastating campaign, destroying cities such as Ryazan, Vladimir, and Kiev. The Mongols established the Golden Horde, which ruled over Russia for nearly 250 years. Although the Mongols allowed local rulers to govern under their authority, Russian princes had to pay heavy tributes. The Mongol yoke hindered Russia's development, but also centralized power in Moscow, which gradually emerged as the dominant Russian state. Section 4. The Rise of Moscow. By the 14th century, the city of Moscow, Muscovy, grew in power under the leadership of its grand princes. One of the most significant rulers was Ivan III, who in 1480 ended Mongol dominance after the Great Stand on the Ugra River. He expanded Moscow's territories, strengthened the military, and proclaimed Russia as the Third Rome, emphasizing its role as the successor to the Byzantine Empire after Constantinople fell in 1453. Ivan III also laid the foundations for centralized rule, promoting the idea of absolute monarchy, a tradition that would continue in Russia for centuries. Section 5. Ivan the Terrible and the Time of Troubles. In 1547, Ivan IV became the first Tsar of Russia. His reign was marked by ambitious reforms, including the introduction of a legal code, military modernization, and territorial expansion into Siberia. However, his later years were dominated by paranoia and brutality. He created the Oprichnina, a secret police force that terrorized nobles and led violent purges, including the sack of Novgorod in 1570. After Ivan's death in 1584, Russia plunged into the Time of Troubles, 1598 to 1613, a period of political chaos, foreign invasions, and famine. Multiple pretenders to the throne emerged, and Poland briefly occupied Moscow. Stability was restored in 1613 when Michael Romanov was chosen as Tsar, founding the Romanov dynasty. Section 6. Peter the Great and the Rise of the Russian Empire. Peter the Great transformed Russia into a major European power in the late 17th and early 18th centuries. Determined to modernize Russia, He implemented sweeping reforms, westernized the military and government, introduced European-style clothing, education, and cultural practices, built St. Petersburg as a new capital, symbolizing Russia's shift towards Europe, expanded Russian territory through wars, notably against Sweden in the Great Northern War, 1700 to 1721, securing Russia's access to the Baltic Sea. By the end of his reign, Russia had become a major European empire, setting the stage for further expansion. Section 7. Catherine the Great and the Age of Enlightenment. Catherine II, who ruled from 1762 to 1796, continued Peter's legacy of expansion and modernization. She embraced Enlightenment ideals, promoted education, and reformed the government. Under her rule, Russia expanded into Crimea, Poland, and Alaska, securing control over the Black Sea and gaining influence in Eastern Europe. However, her reign also saw peasant unrest, including Pugachev's Rebellion, 1773 to 1775, which exposed the harsh conditions of serfdom. Despite Enlightenment rhetoric, Catherine did not abolish serfdom, fearing it would weaken noble support. Section 8. The Russian Revolution and the Rise of the Soviet Union. The 19th and early 20th centuries saw increasing social unrest due to industrialization, economic inequality, and political repression. In 1917, two revolutions changed Russia forever. The February Revolution led to the abdication of Tsar Nicholas II, ending 300 years of Romanov rule. The October Revolution, led by Vladimir Lenin and the Bolsheviks, overthrew the provisional government and established a communist state. By 1922, the Soviet Union, USSR, was formed, marking the beginning of a new socialist era under Lenin, followed by Joseph Stalin's authoritarian rule. Section 9. World War II and the Cold War. During World War II, the Soviet Union played a crucial role in defeating Nazi Germany. The German invasion of the USSR in 1941, Operation Barbarossa, led to immense suffering, but the Soviet Red Army pushed back, eventually capturing Berlin in 1945. After the war, the USSR emerged as a global superpower, entering into a Cold War, 1947-1991, with the United States. This period saw intense geopolitical rivalry, the space race, the Cuban Missile Crisis, 1962, and the Soviet-Afghan War, 1979 to 1989. Section 10. The Fall of the USSR and Modern Russia. By the late 1980s, economic stagnation, political corruption, and growing nationalist movements weakened the Soviet Union. In 1991, the USSR collapsed, leading to the emergence of the Russian Federation under President Boris Yeltsin. Since then, Russia has experienced significant political and economic changes, including the rise of Vladimir Putin, conflicts in Chechnya and Ukraine, and shifting relations with the West. Today, Russia remains a major global power, balancing its historical legacy with the challenges of the modern world. And there you have it, a whirlwind tour through the fascinating history of Russia, from its origins as a medieval state to its transformation into a modern superpower. Join us next time as we explore more stories and secrets from the annals of history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.